Hey guys, what's up? It's Zamara, and tonight I bring you a new video. First and foremost, I'm sorry if I don't have a good setup right now. Like, my lighting may be crappy, and even my narration may be a little crappy. It's just, I'm not having a very good moment right now. I feel really down, so I decided that I should get to filming because somehow doing this just uplifts me, and I'm pretty sure that I will accomplish that. So tonight's topic is going to be fears. I don't talk about this a lot, so I just suddenly had a moment when I was overcome by lots of thoughts, and I said, I feel like some of the things that scare me aren't really shared by other people, or maybe they just don't express them as much. So I'll share with you guys what I am talking about. So one of my fears has to be fireworks because they are just loud, and also some of them are gunshots. And I have heard of people who have gotten injured in the process, so I don't mess with that anymore. When I was a kid, like maybe 8 years old, I did launch one. Of course, I had supervision, but I said, you know what, something about doing this is just not appealing for me, so I haven't done it ever since. This past 4th of July, um, I was with someone, so he set off some, and I'm glad that he took it very far away from me because it brought back memories from when I used to be closely exposed to them, and it's just not fun. Another thing I'm afraid of, which a lot of people I'm pretty sure are, is the dark. But more so when I'm outside in a place that I am not really familiar with. Even my neighborhood, though, so I guess that's a lie because right now I don't care about going outside. And to tell you the truth, I stay away from the grass because you just never know what's lurking there. And one night I was coming back from someone's house, and as I was going up the hill, there was a baby snake right there on the street, and I was headed straight for it. I guess my reaction time was really good because it was kind of like doing its thing where it just jumps, like it was just weird. I'm guessing it's trying to figure out how to crawl or something. But I said, damn, this is. Another thing is, I just can't see that well in the dark. At least not like when I used to be a kid. I feel like lighting was better back then, and maybe given my visual impairment, I just don't see as well. So that worries me sometimes because I wonder if where I'm at is just dark, or if there's something physically wrong with my eyes. But I mean, I have gotten checked and nobody has said anything, so why should I worry? Another thing that I'm very fearful of is getting sick to the point that I am hospital material. And mainly it's because I can't afford it. I can't afford to get sick. And, I have very little medical insurance. Ideally, I would pay more for a better insurance, but I'm one of those people who has to live paycheck to paycheck. So there's just no way that I can make room for that, at least not immediately. There are some bills and some loans that need my attention before that. So I'm just going to have to roll with it for now. And we're on a businessy type of note. Losing my job is also one thing that makes me really fearful because it would mess up every aspect of your life. when you're a child, you really don't think about it that way. You just think, oh, my mom just leaves for a while, she works, she gets paid for working, but she supplies me with whatever I need. But I never really stopped to think about what that means and the management of an income. And now that I'm older, I'm like, wow, this thing, there's a lot that you have to think about. And until you experience it for yourself, you just don't know. Um, and then nowadays, it's really stressful because you can't even count on a full-time job. A lot of places are at will, to free themselves of the responsibility of, they can do with you and your labor whatever they please, and there's no contract protecting you or protecting them, however it works. So yeah, it's kind of sad times to be alive in when it comes to the distribution of wealth, but it's also a good time to be alive because we have much more freedoms that many years ago we wouldn't have enjoyed, that's for sure. Another frightening thing is getting in a car wreck that it's my fault. And the only reason I put that is because A, I would not be able to afford my insurance going up. B, I can't live with the responsibility of someone getting hurt or possibly losing their lives over a mistake of mine. So that's why I always try to do it as humanly possible, perfect. And, to this day it has worked. Like, I'm not trying to say that I've been perfect, because I've had my incidents where, had it not been for the quick reaction of the other driver, something might have happened. But now I'm learning to, when I'm driving, I must absolutely not let any negative thought invade me. And if I'm not completely aware of my surroundings, I'll just be like, hey, I'm gonna have to get a ride and pick up my car later, because I'm not in good shape to be driving. And also, just accidents are horrible. And I just hope that I never have to deal with that. Also, any kind of bug or reptile and an angry mammal like a bear or a tiger or something like that, those things just scare me. You just never know how they're going to react. And when it comes to bugs, sometimes it's hard to tell which ones are dangerous and which ones aren't. So I just try to steer away from them, and they also like massacre me a lot. Like, you know, it sucks to be in my skin. That's all I have to say. Breaking my glasses. That, I want to say, is my daily fear. Sometimes I accidentally knock them over, and I always slowly approach them, and like my chest feels really tight because I don't know if I'm going to see shattered glass or a leg broken or something like that. I am heavily dependent upon this. I am incredibly nearsighted, and I wouldn't be able to drive. I wouldn't be able to feel safe walking because I don't know what's in front of me. And I wouldn't be able to recognize anybody from a distance if I need help. If you were to all of a sudden like take me for a car ride blindfolded and then drop me off somewhere, I wouldn't be able to tell where I'm at unless I read something. It all looks like I'm looking through a cloud. That's how blurry my vision gets. Also, I guess being trapped somewhere without anybody knowing, like let's say an elevator, or if you happen to be underground and something happens and for some reason your phone just doesn't work, or if you get lost or trapped somewhere and you don't happen to have your phone with you, which is unlikely because everybody's so wired to them. But it's a really scary thing to think about because, if you don't have a way of helping yourself and nobody has a way of knowing that you're in peril, then, Also, learning that I am physically incapable of having kids. And the only reason I mentioned that is because it's a possibility. Now, I have always had mixed feelings. Some days I really don't want to be a mother, other days I really want to be a mother. I feel like I must be to feel accomplished or whatever, but I also had to face the possibility that I may physically be incapable given some conditions that I experience and conditions that I can address because, like I mentioned earlier, I don't have a way to access that attention without suffering consequences in other aspects of my life. But anyway, I am ready to receive the news when the time comes. For starters, I don't even have a commitment or a relationship that ensures that it's gonna be headed for marriage and kids and all that. So it's something I shouldn't worry about. And I guess I'm still pretty young for that. Although a lot of the folks I know have already had their kids at such an early age, or they're around my age and they're starting to plan on it. Whatever it is, I just want to know that if I finally decide to have them, and if the circumstances align to where I can have a home for them, such as, a stable marriage, financial situation, and all that, then yeah, I want to know that physically I can bear them, because it's like I can have all the success in the world, but if I can't fulfill that for now pending dream, then yeah. Also, going through a divorce. If I ever get married, I just hope that I don't have to go through that, because I was born in the process of one, and I suffered a lot from having a broken family, and I have no interest in repeating that cycle for myself or my kids if I get to have them. I also just don't want to deal with that, the pressure of going to court, having your lawyer, facing the pressures of society. Like, your friends are going to be talking about it, your family. Well, my family's far away, so not a lot of them would find out unless I post it on social media, and then they get together and they mention it, and they're like, hey, Zamara got married, this and that, and they're like, oh really? And then all of a sudden I'm posting that I'm no longer in a home that's stable like that. I just don't want to. And also, my mother has explained to me what it's like, what her experience was like, and I also know other people who have shared with me their story, and it's just horrible. A long time ago, I was like, forget it, I'm never getting married. But then when I got older, I said, there's a lot of stuff I just believe in, and that's one of them. So for me, it's like, when I get married once. And I just never want to be called a divorced woman. Nor do I want for my kids to have to experience that. Like, only my mom is here, my daddy, I see him sometimes. Or, what if I lose custody? Hey, anything can happen. I don't want for the kids to be wondering, are we going to spend Christmas with you or with mommy? That's just, it's serious stuff, and I don't want to mess it up. Also, realizing that I've wasted my time, I'll lose control. I can never respond positively to learning that I have been working so hard on something or expecting something for so long, only to not get the results that are supposed to be expected. I just expect everyone to have the courage all the time to express things as they are. And, if you don't have an interest in something or someone or something that we're doing or in me or whatever, I expect for you to say it, because I'm giving you the benefit of, I'm believing you that you're doing this because you really want to. You want to be my friend or be my partner or whatever. I'm taking it seriously. If you can't handle that, then you need to express it in a timely manner. Also, losing my home to a natural disaster or an accidental fire. it's a really scary thing to think about. So, needless to say, it needs to be something that everyone fears. And although I'm not one of those people who amasses big and expensive and luxurious things, there's some stuff that I just don't want to lose. For instance, I have my journals. I have just many pieces of things that people have given me that I conserve because they just mean a lot to me. It's part of my legacy and the legacy that they have passed down to me. So it would really stink to lose that, but I am prepared for it. As long as I don't lose my life, I can rebuild a lot of this. But also a lot of the stuff that surrounds you, you've gotten through your, hard earned money. It would just suck that all of a sudden, one day, it's just not there. And there was nothing you could do about it. I'm also really scared of explosive noises. So, fireworks and just anything that's a loud bang type of sound. That mess just. Uh, thinking about it makes me nervous. Falling down and getting really hurt. When I was a kid, I was really like. I was one of those kids who was like, I guess, clumsy because I would fall a lot, I would trip a lot. I have a lot of scars, especially in my knees. It's like all of them are from a time I fell and just scraped myself, and I don't care to expand on that, so let's just be over with that. Something else that I feared is being betrayed. Being betrayed by anybody in any way. Like, if I say I trust you, then I expect to be able to, be cool with you forever. And vice versa. So, I can't say that I have experienced this. Maybe as a kid, but, as a kid, nobody's really that honest. Like, your friendships are just based on stupid stuff. But as an adult, it's just horrible. I don't wish that upon anybody. And I guess the last thing that's coming to mind right now is not ever getting married. Like, yeah, actually, never getting married. That's a fear that I have because sometimes I feel like nobody would dare to put up with me for long term. And sometimes I feel like I myself, given my circumstances and my goals in life, or I guess lack thereof, nobody would find that appealing or interesting. And I don't know why I'm obsessed about having a family of my own. Maybe it's because I didn't have one. So, and I can just sense how wonderful it would be to have one. But I guess you can't have it all. At any rate, so yeah, guys, those are the fears that I have. Do you relate to any? Want to share your own? I am all ears. And I'm glad that I'm putting this out there. I don't journal anymore. I don't write anymore. I don't get to express myself like this much. But every time I do, I feel this odd feeling of like I'm gaining some strength. I just feel better. Like 19 minutes ago, prior to me filming, I was just feeling really crappy. Like, just nothing was inspiring me. Nothing was giving me energy. But ever since I've started this filming thing, it's a miracle. I never knew how good it was. I guess that's why a lot of people do it and even make a living of it. Sometimes I wish that were my case, oh yeah, I can just sit down in front of a camera, create something, and boom, I have my paycheck. But sometimes I enjoy the fact that I have to get up, go out there, and be directly productive to people. But sometimes I do try to imagine my life as someone who just makes money online or something. And it sounds good because trust me, when you get as sick as I do and you feel the way that I do sometimes, it's like, wow, what better way to sustain yourself than being safe at home. And all right, you guys, that's the end. I hope to hear from you, and thank you so much for watching. Especially if you made it to the end. I know it's 20 minutes long, but at any rate, no regrets. So thanks, and see you soon.